Hey guys, so I got asked to do the back to basics videos. So a couple of the questions I was asked is how to apply mineral pigments or eyeshadow wet, and the other one was how to blend, how I blend. So I'm just gonna tackle both of these, and at the same time you'll get a look out of it. So it's gonna be a three-fer, I guess. So first things first, I'm going to do how I apply my eyeshadow wet. My eye is already primed and nice and dry. Instead of using a primer over top of my foundation, I used it under my foundation and then set it with my foundation. And you can see I have zero creasing, and it's really dry and nice and matte, which is what I'm gonna want for this. The eyeshadow that I'm gonna apply wet is Mineral Maven's Monk. And this is a nice coppery kind of golden color. So first things first, I'm going to get an e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. Let me get another eyeshadow brush really quickly to show you exactly what you don't want your brush to look like when you're putting them on wet. This one's dirty, so it's fine. What you don't want is them to be too wet, because then they're harder to control. So you don't want your brush to be doing that. See how it's bent weird because it's too wet? It'll start to do that and it'll just be harder to control. So that you don't want. You just want your brush to be damp. So to dampen my brush, today I'm going to use the e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. And some people like to spray their brush. Just spray it. I don't. Also harder to control where your stuff goes. If you spray your brush, it ends up all over the place. So if you want to spray, you could spray your hand and then dip your brush in it. I like to put a little spray inside of the lid. And that's because, first of all, it's not as messy. Secondly, it doesn't dry as fast, so you're not wasting a bunch of product. That's how I like to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just dip my brush in there lightly, and then I like to work it off in my hand a little bit because, like I said, we don't want it to be too wet. So it's just kind of damp. You see my brush is still fluffy. It's not doing that weird flattening thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my Mineral Maven Monk. I'm going to pick up some of this pigment here. And then I'm just going to put it where I want it, which is on my lid. So now what I'm going to do now that I have this on my lid is I wiped off my brush a little bit I just used my hand to dry it out just a little, so I'm just going to tap a little bit more of this over top of this, just to kind of help set it a little. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up, and this will help blend it out. When I blend, I'm half on my color, half off my color, and I'm going in this windshield wiper motion. I love these e.l.f. eyeshadow brushes for blending. They are really multi-purpose. These are the $1 ones. I do have the $3 ones, the C shadow brushes, but these aren't as good for blending in my opinion. I prefer the $1 for blending. So that's how you apply eyeshadow wet. It's simple enough. You can see it blended out really well. There's really nothing to it. A lot of people do say that they have a hard time blending it when it's wet, but really it's just, if you set it with dry powder, it does help a little bit. So now I'm going to get this brush here, and this is a fluffy brush. I will tell you when it comes to blending that when their brushes are fluffier like this, they are easier to blend things out with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with Mineral Maven Crybaby, and I'm going to use this in my crease because this will not only apply makeup, but it'll help blend it as I'm applying it. So I'm just going into my crease in this windshield wiper motion. And as I bring this up, you can see how it's kind of blending it out. I'm not using a lot of pressure. And I'm pulling it down this way towards the coppery gold color Monk. And that is helping blend that into that color, as you can see. I'm going to do the same thing in the outer corner. Pull it inward. Now when you're working with mattes are harder to blend, so what I would suggest is color building, which is when you don't put a lot of color on at first. You build your color up by adding a little bit and then blending it out a little bit, adding a little bit more, blending it out a little bit more. That's how it's easier to blend with mattes, and maybe I'll show that another time. Obviously I'm not working with matte right now. So now I'm going to use a this is a dry $1 e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. I'm going to go in with Mineral Maven's I'll Never Tell. I'm going to get just a little bit of this on here. I'm going to start on the inner brow area. Might as well highlight my brow while I'm here. And now I'm going to pull it down towards this purple color. And I'm just doing the same thing, just windshield wiper motion back and forth. Now if you're finding that you're losing a little bit of color, which sometimes happens, you just go back and touch it up. And then you can go back and blend out a little bit more if you have to. Okay, so it's all blended. Now I'm just going to go ahead and continue the rest of my look here. I'm going to take a smaller brush and get my Mist and Set spray here. And I'm going back into Crybaby. I'm going to work this into my lower lash line here. I'm taking it all the way across, almost to my inner corner. Okay, and now I'm going to go back with my little fluffier brush here and go back into Mineral Maven's I'll Never Tell. I'm going to pop just a little bit of this into my inner corner here. Okay, now I'm just going to line my eyes and I'll be right back. Okay, so for the sake of time, I already did my eyeliner and mascara. I'm going to take MAC Flirt and Tease and just a $1 e.l.f. blush brush. And I'm just going to give myself some cheek color. Okay, now I'm just going to go in with Mineral Maven Pro Frosting and highlight around my cheekbone. And now for lips, I don't know what I want yet. Okay, for lips I'm just going to use Wet n Wild's 516C. I like this color. Kind of like a rosy, peachy color. And I'm going to finish it off with sorry for all the noise. I'm going to finish it off with, I think this is Maybelline XXL Seduction or something like this, and the color is called Peachy Flush. And that'll do it. Anyways, sorry I'm all over the place. Like I said, I'm kind of in a hurry and gotta go to work now. So I hope that this helped you in some way or another as far as applying eyeshadow wet and blending. That's really just how I blend. I don't know how to explain it or describe it. That's just how I do it. That's how I apply my eyeshadow wet. I don't know if it's the right way, the wrong way, but it works for me. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thanks so much for watching. Bye!